And Israel has seen a flurry of diplomatic visits in recent days since the signing of the Iran nuclear deal. The most recent arrival is the president of Croatia, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yes, she's a woman. The president, for whom it is the first visit to the country since taking office in February, came to meet with Israeli leaders and to participate in a ceremony at Yad Vashem, in which Croatian filmmaker Branko Lustig presented the Oscar that he won for his work on Schindler's List to the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial in perpetuity. But Tal Shalev managed to actually grab the president, sit down with her, and bring this fabulous report back to us.
So, President Grabar-Kitarovic, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you, and hello to all the viewers.
I want to start with your visit here in Israel. You arrive in Israel at a very tense time in the relations between Israel and Europe in the wake of the Iran deal and in the wake of the growing European pressure on the Israeli-Palestinian process. You met with the Israeli Prime Minister, you met with the Israeli President. What did you hear from them and what did you tell them?
Well, first of all, it is my pleasure to be visiting Israel, no matter what the conditions are. The primary reason for the visit was the ceremony at Yad Vashem, whereby our own Branko Lustig, the producer of the motion picture Schindler's List, presented officially his Oscar to Yad Vashem. However, of course, it was very important for me to meet with the Prime Minister, with the President, with the Speaker of the Knesset, and everybody else to hear the Israeli side also, to hear your views, your opinion on the peace process and on the deal with Iran, and also to encourage Israel to pursue the peace process with the Palestinians. Croatia supports the efforts of the international community to reach a lasting, a comprehensive solution. For that, of course, what we need is the will of both sides, primarily with the good offices of the international community. But I do hope that we will reach a solution. What I've heard from the President and the Prime Minister is their assessment of the situation. And of course, what I will do on my part is talk to my colleagues in the European Union, in NATO and elsewhere to discuss the situation, because we have to be very mindful of what's going in the Middle East. It does affect us all. And of course, we all would like to finally see peace here in Israel and in other parts of the Middle East.
You mentioned the very moving ceremony at the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial, but for years there was some kind of a historic resentment in Israel towards Croatia following the actions of the Ustashi government during the war, but also following the comments that have been made by the founding father, the former president Franco Tuđman. I want to ask you, do you still feel this resentment? Do you feel that there is an openness to the new approach that we see in recent years coming from Croatia in the Israeli society?
I don't feel any resentment whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I really am very happy with the friendship that we see between the two countries and between the two peoples. Yes, there was a dark period in our history in World War II that cast a shadow on Croatia's past. However, in addition to the Ustashi regime, which was a collaborationist Nazi regime, there was comparably one of the biggest anti-fascist uprising resistance movements in Croatia, with the bulk of Croats participating, my own family participating in that movement. They were on the partisan side, but later on they resisted communism, for instance. So these people who fought fascism and Nazism put us, Croatia, on the right side of history, because modern Croatia is not a successor to that so-called independent state of Croatia and their ideology. What is embedded in our constitution is our anti-fascist, anti-Nazi roots and the homeland war that we fought back in the 90s in order to liberate Croatia from aggression and occupation.
So I want to say, with history, we are just recently, the world marked 20 years to the Srebrenica massacre and also to the Dayton peace accords that followed it. But we still feel ethnic tensions in the Balkans. And we do know that Serbia, for instance, wants to join the European Union. What is your stand on Serbia joining the European Union? And is this something you support in the name of reconciliation and coexistence in the Balkan?
Well, in my speech at Yad Vashem, I said that after World War II, we said never again. And then I saw the war in my own country. I saw how brutal the face of war was. We saw massacres such as Vukovar, the the destruction of the entire city of Vukovar. We saw the massacre in Srebrenica, where more than 8,000 people were slaughtered in the course of just a few days. We saw many people being taken at the time to concentration camps, and we thought it would never happen on the European soil again. It just goes to show that we must always remain vigilant, that we cannot take things for granted, not peace, nor the values that we stand for. And we have to continue to uphold them. And that's why we as Croatia, we fully support the membership of Bosnia and Herzegovina, of Serbia, and our other neighbors in the European Union and NATO. Well, Serbia doesn't want to become a member of NATO, but other countries do, because we believe that being part of the same integration processes, at the roots of which are peace and security, is the best precondition for lasting peace and security in our region.
And being the first woman president of Croatia, but also probably a groundbreaker also in NATO, as you served as the first woman as an assistant to the Secretary General of NATO. How are you accepted in these environments that are very much masculine? How do you feel, how did you succeed to flourish in these kind of very masculine environments?
First of all, I never think of myself as a woman in those environments. Of course, being a female president, I do have a responsibility to fight for the equality of all, including the underrepresented gender, which happen to be women mostly everywhere. But when I enter any competition or when I talk to anyone, I really don't look at them or myself as a woman or a man. I look at everyone based on their human qualities, on their professional qualifications, on their zeal, leadership, etc. And these should be the qualities that we should primarily be judging people on, or selecting the best person for the job.
You also have been quoted as saying that you don't define yourself as feminist. So if you're not a feminist, what are you?
I don't define myself as feminist, and I don't mean anything. I don't mean to belittle feminism at all. I don't like to label myself in any way. As I told you earlier, I cook. I love to cook, but I don't consider myself to be a cook. Well, this is perhaps an oversimplification, but why I don't consider myself as feminist? Because of the angle that I'm looking at. As I said, I don't look at myself as a woman in all this. I do hope that it will be encouragement to all women and to all girls to do away with the prejudice that women are not capable for certain jobs. But I fight for the right of every single individual.
President Grabar-Kitarovic, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.